Hey gang, how's it going? Sorry, a little bit of wind here. I just wanted to start a little impromptu. We got a little cloudy, little windy, as you can probably tell. A little breezy. Get inside the shop here. Woo! Okay, there we go. Oh, get inside the shop. Hopefully you're all having a good one. A little impromptu video, but I'm kind of excited because today's video is a whole bunch of goodness. We have lights. There we go. We have the new knife name. We decided on that. I got a homeless knife to share with you. Talk about the apparel a little bit more on the website, as well as I got something new to share with you that's also going to be on the website. So let me get a good camera. Let me get everything else gathered up, turn the heat on, and we'll get to showing you what this video is all about. Alrighty guys, how you doing? Hopefully this is finding you well. Glasses are probably a little tinted up there, but that's not a bad deal because the first thing is my health. Yes, I actually got another bout, sort of flaring back up again. Many of you guys don't know, end of last year in 2022, right before Christmas, I was blessed with not only shingles in both eyes and in my nostril, but also staph infection. So I spent about a month on various antibiotics and antivirals and all that stuff, and all the fun stuff you like to talk about. Yeah, it took me all through Christmas and beginning of the year, and then 2024 I went back to my part-time gig and was able to also come back in the shop for a while. And then just last week I ended up getting a flare-up, and so they hurried up and they gave me something completely different again. And so I don't even know the names. I forget. I stopped worrying about names anymore. I've been on so many different types of medications to get everything sorted out, but this one seems to really be working strongly. So hopefully that'll work out well. So I want to touch on that because it was pretty bad when I show up to my part-time gig, and a lot of folks that know me and what I do or whatever else say, "Hey Chad, how you feeling? How's the eye?" I'm like, "It's okay, blah, 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 and this, that. Seems like it's, bothered me a little bit." They're like, "Yeah, and it looks kind of bad." It's like, well, it's hard to deal with people in the public if you had these kind of issues. So anyhow, so I digress there. Second topic is the hoodies, the t-shirts, all that. Website's up and live. Had a couple little hiccups, so hopefully it didn't bother anybody or affect anyone. Was one little design snafu, but we got that all settled, so hopefully it didn't cause any issues with anybody ordering. So, and I do appreciate all the support that way. So again, everything's live on the website again, and all the new design for 2024. This new one here, yours truly did that one, so I was happy about that. So I got that sorted out. So the other thing that went up on the website recently is my new mugs. I got my new mugs. These are actually a little different than the last ones. If many of you have been following, I've ran several different kinds of mugs before. I've done the handmade mugs like this before in the past. I did one for, when I was in Wyoming, I did 2 different colors. There were 2 different shades of colors, blues and browns and such like that. And then when I moved here to Wyoming, I ran a small batch of Wyoming mugs, which is a dark blue with the emblem was the state of the shape of Wyoming, and then the CK Knife and Tool logo in the middle of it. So that was just a limited run for just me moving to Wyoming and doing all that at the grand opening. Now that's been a couple of years, probably 3 years now. And so I turned around and wanted to do a new mug, but this one's a little different. The last ones were 14 ounces. These are 16. These I went because these are called a Dale barrel, I think is what they called these. And it's a 16 ounce, it uses a Stein. So definitely good for your beers. But of course, it's handmade in Wisconsin, and like all of the other stuff, it's good for hot and cold. So you don't have to worry about that. I use this as my new coffee mug. But really happy, again, Handcrafted USA. All of them are literally made by hand over in Wisconsin, and super happy with that. They worked with me on getting my design that I'm wearing here on the mug now. So really, really pleased with it. I'm happy. I think even Kasha said too, and my dad, everybody's saying that this, out of all, this will be the 4th mug, like colors, the 2nd design, the 4th mug, and the 3rd actual like logo. Of all the logos, this by far is everybody's favorite, and I'm super stoked about it. Matter of fact, I bought 24 and I was gonna do a limited run on this, but I think at the making of this video, I was already out. I already sold like 10 or 12 of them. Well, we took 2 for ourselves, and I think I sold like 9 or 10 other mugs already. And I'm just doing this video now, but they've been on the website for the better part of a week or so. But yeah, so wanted to share that with you. Super happy with these and really pleased with the design and everything. It's actually 2 different kinds of green. One's a lily pad green, the other one's a different type of green, but in the light you'll see a little bit more. When there's daylight, natural light, you'll see a lot more of the browns and like almost like this goldish kind of color that bleeds through every now and then, because of course the glazing and everything, each mug is individually done, so the glazings are always different and everything, but super pretty, super cool. I'm happy with that, so go check that out on CK Knife and Tool. We've got those set up. Next is another homeless knife. I ended up getting this knife done a little while ago. It was actually one of the knives I actually started right before I got sick, and I couldn't do anything with them. So this pup here, it's the sheath, of course, is the topography. It's an olive drab black with a Blade Tech lock on it. But the knife itself, I did this pup in stabilized marble wood. And I gotta tell you, this marble wood was hard. Man, I don't know if it was as much hard from after the stabilizing process, but it was a fairly dense wood to begin with. And I'd have to look up the Janka hardness again. But super, super hard wood. It was easy to work with for the most part, but yeah, it was a really tough wood. But I also turned around and I tumbled this one. Now, I did stonewash, acid stonewash finish knives, and that's got more of that blackish gray kind of charcoaly look. I've done that with knives in the past and still offer it, just not as popular. And I'm not a big fan of it. I think it looks nice, but I'm not as big fan compared to just a good hand-sanded satin finish on a knife. But what I do like as a secondary choice is this tumbled finish. And I like this so much because I have it on my personal carry pocket knife that I carry. It's a Benchmade. I've carried it since I bought it, I think back in 2002, 2003 when I was with the Seattle Police Department. And I carried it my entire time with Seattle PD. I still carry it to this day. It's more of a collector's knife than anything else because they don't make them anymore. But it's a big, heavy, hefty knife when you open it up. It's got a good handle and everything, but it has D2 steel, which everybody knows I'm a really big fan of D2. And it's a nice, good, simple steel, and it meets everybody's. It does everything just really good. It doesn't like really outshine one thing and do pour on the other kind of stuff with all these other different steels. It's just a really good, reliable steel. And many people that have used D2 on their knives or have knives that are made out of D2 will attest that it's just a really good steel. I did that tumbled finish, and it's really slick. I really like that look. And my pocket knife has that too, so I was really keen in getting involved in doing that with the knife, and I like the finish of it. I actually did the whole, I put this whole knife in the tumbler for like 3 hours, and it tumbles the entire thing, and then I hand sand everything up, clean it up really good, and you got a finished knife. So this pup is up on the website. Of course, like with all the knives, you can, even if it's already made in the homeless category of the website, you can go ahead and add custom etching if you want to get your name put on the spine of the knife, or some kind of saying or verse or something like that on the other side of the blade opposing to Maker's Mark. You can do that well, but this, as of right now, is up on the website. We're in February 2024, so you can look that up. I think that makes 8 or 10 knives that I have for sale that are available on the website right now, different kinds and styles, so take a look at that one. So I guess that's it, gang. So I guess we'll just see you later. Thanks for stopping over for the video. There's one more thing we got to talk about, isn't there? Yes, there is. Yes, there is. And that is the new knife for 2024, the knife with no name. Now, I went through all of these names and started looking at stuff, and then I'd start, reaching out to people. I'd go to my part-time and I'd ask people, like, hey, what do you think about this? Or what do you think about that? And, some folks know what I do for a living, and they look at stuff, and I talk to them about things, and we just have a good time with it. And I ask them their opinion about stuff and show them some of the names and tell them what I'm talking about. And a lot of them don't follow YouTube or anything like that. But so I throw it out to them. And then with the emails I got and the text messages and such, or the comments on YouTube, I started going in and started writing down all these names. And I think I was around actually I think when I did a count, I think it was like 23 names. I think I had more names before, I misspoke, but I think it was like 23 names that we had. Now, some people voted for a couple of names that were already out there. So like my Artemis, I liked the name Artemis. I think there was 1 or 2 votes for that. And then there was a couple other people that did this and that. But a lot of people I get, especially some family members, they don't go on YouTube and comment and stuff, Ronnie. And what I did is I just take their emails or their text messages and I put it together and I'll chat with them back and forth. Well, we got a name, and we'll go back. There was 4 top names in my list so far, and the 4 top names, and well, actually 3 names, and 1 isn't a name, it's a number. And the number was the 1890. 1890 is the year that Wyoming became a state. Now I thought about that one, I thought it was pretty good, but I think that might be more fitting for maybe something like the Montana, but a little bit smaller along that line, something like that. Maybe the size of a Jasper or something, you know, those kind of styles. Like I did with the 307. The 307 is a small knife, and many of you that are new to the channel, the 307 is named the 307 is because myself and one of the owners of a company here, a small business in Wyoming, we designed this knife and we named it the 307 for the area code. Wyoming is one of the few states in the United States that has a single area code to cover an entire state. So that's what got named the 307. But we're not doing the 1890, but that was one of the names. Of course, there was the Artemis. You know, the Artemis was one of my favorites, but I got to thinking, especially after I saw some of the other names that were out there, I was kind of like, I can see what people are mean by, you know, Artemis isn't really the fit. You know, there's the Raven. I thought that was kind of cool and stuff like that, but it's like, all right. Well, then I had these other 2 names that came up to me, and after I started talking with other people and I started looking at the name, especially the environment and the environment and the atmosphere that we have right now, these 2 names kind of stuck out a little bit more. One of them was the Minuteman. And if anybody knows, and I wrote the definition down here, but I said the Minuteman, and Ella's like, I remember that, and we were studying it in history. You know, we used to homeschool. And the Minuteman in U.S. history is an American Revolutionary militiaman that was always prepared when called up for military duty at a minute's warning. So the Minuteman was that. So I thought, well, it's kind of cool, you know. A lot of people that I end up selling knives with or follow me, they're very patriotic, they're military, former, current military, law enforcement, very patriotic people. And I thought, yeah, Minuteman, that'd be kind of cool, you know, like that'd be kind of neat. It'd be really cool maybe if I had like a little, like something I can etch next to it or something, but I don't have the knife made yet, and you know, where a good etch might fit and this and that. And then if I put the etch in, that takes the space for somebody else that might want a custom etch instead. So I'm like, we'll see. But I get ahead of myself on that one. So, but the other name was the Sentinel. Now the Sentinel was defined as one that keeps guard, a sentry, someone, the watcher, like a soldier stationed for a specific purpose of guarding a particular place. You know, if you had a warning, like a allowed to pass kind of word and such. And they're also, let's see, they were there to resist and give alarm for something like an intruder. And they're also, the Sentinel is also somebody that's used for display. A soldier that would be set up like at an entrance of like the White House, those Marines that stand there would kind of be considered a Sentinel. So I started going through these names and everything, and I got to thinking, boy, these last 2, the Minuteman and the Sentinel, I knew where they were coming from and what the individual gave the name out. I understood that. And also, I kind of know the background of both of these people because they're both serving or have served our country. So I started looking into that, and because of that, I thought I'd give that a little bit more weight in my decision process. I mean, I've named pretty much every single knife I have. So I thought, well, what could I do? I got to step away from a little bit. So I took, you know, I took the Artemis away and some of the other ones, and you know, some other ones I think people are just being comical that were sending me messages and such. So it came down to the Minuteman and the Sentinel. And so ultimately I decided that this new knife for my 10th anniversary in 2024, it's going to be the, drumroll, the Sentinel. Yes, gonna name it the Sentinel. So Brad, congratulations. You commented on this on the YouTube video itself. You commented the Sentinel, and I thank you for that. So, and Colin, thank you for the Minuteman. You were literally the runner-up. It was basically one or the other, and we literally were talking it over, and I was texting a couple other people last night. So moving forward, there will be the Sentinel. Now, at the making of this video, you're also gonna know this is the number 6 video in the series, the code. At some point in time, that code has already popped up, or it's about to pop up, to give you the last 2 digits of your code that you're gonna be able to use to go on my website, and the first 2 people to use that code are gonna get 24% off their order. The website's open, you're gonna be able to go on there and you're gonna get 25% off. That means if you wanna buy this homeless knife or any other knife that's already made, you're gonna get 24% off the purchase of that knife. If you don't wanna wait, there's knives there, you buy it, you're good. If you wanna make your knife and you wanna place that order, that code will be good for that purchase at that time. So that I wanted to share with everybody. The caveat now too is, or not the caveat at least, but the extra bonus, not only is the homeless knives gonna be up there, all my other knives, I am going to already have on there the Sentinel. The Sentinel is not, all it's gonna be is just basically that template right now, because we just got done designing it, you know, making a name for it. But it's gonna be up there for a pre-order. So if anybody wants a Sentinel, you're gonna be able to pre-order it, which means you're gonna be able to go in there, you're gonna pick the Sentinel, and then you're gonna pick all the materials like you normally would, any type of pins or handle material, stuff like that, and you can do that. Even though I only have 1 picture, that's it, you'll be able to buy a Sentinel. You'll be able to get in line and buy the Sentinel. The waiting period is not gonna be any different than if I made a normal custom knife for any of you anyhow. If you didn't wanna buy a homeless knife and you wanted a special pet camp knife or a Rogue or something, then there's gonna be that couple of month waiting period that, you know, for me to make the knife and to ship it off to you. So, but right now, that's why I wanted to start with the health, because right now I am doing really good. I feel good. Everything's subsiding. Everything's good in the shop. I'm just trying to get all the materials and stuff together, and I'm trying to work out all the prices and stuff like that. So you will be able to order and pre-order a Sentinel on the website at this video. If you've already seen the code, you probably already left because you want to be the first 2 people to get in there to use that 24%. So hopefully you came back and you watched the rest of the video, because there's more. Okay, so not only am I doing the Sentinel, and we got the name and everything else, Brad, I said before that when I pick a name out, I'll get somebody a good deal or do something like that. The first 4 Sentinels I make are going to be, and these are going to be, they won't be on the website. This will be the caveat. These first 4, these will be sold later. These will be under the homeless category. I should say, well, 2 of them will be, because I'm going to make 4 Sentinels that are going to be serialized, and they're going to be identical. All 4 are going to be identical. They're going to have the same finish. They're going to have the same laser engraving. They're going to be serialized. They'll have the same scales, meaning the knife handle, and they're going to have the same sheath. But these Sentinels will come with leather sheaths. I'm only gonna have 2 homeless because, Brad, you are getting the other Sentinel. You're getting 02, my friend. So I will have the 01 Sentinel. Brad is going to be given the 02 Sentinel. So Brad, don't worry about running off with that code. Hopefully you didn't already do that. You're gonna get the Sentinel. So for helping me decide on a name, and for me to say thank you to you and everybody that's involved in this, as well as for my 2024 and my 10th year anniversary, I'm going to make these 4 knives. I'm gonna keep 001. Brad, you get 02. 03 and 04 will be serialized and sold like that. And then that's it. The Sentinels from there on will all be custom that you all can pick and choose, or unless I make a homeless Sentinel, like I do a homeless pup or something, and then put those on the knife, the website for homeless knives. But so that was the big hoorah for all that one. So congratulations, Brad. You're going to get your knife. And that's it. Now, if you're going to want your name on it, I'm sure you'll reach out to me, and we'll laser engrave your name on it someplace. But super cool and excited. So thank you everybody for getting involved. Thank you for all the support. 10 years, it's been crazy, I tell you. It's something else, and there's so much more to do this year. Hopefully, you know, I hope and pray. I try to stay away from the news and everything and what's going on. It just seems like there's forces out there that just want to just make it worse for us, and they push us and everything, and just try to stay positive and keep your sense of humor. And my biggest thing is trying to reach out to support those other small businesses that are in our area and that are local to me, or at least a small business in another state. Just trying to give them an extra attaboy, you know, just that little something extra, whether it's a t-shirt, a mug, a hat, a patch, something, to try to help all those companies out. So I ask, if you don't always support me, try to support somebody, maybe local to you or someplace else. So that's it. So I covered all of my bases. I got everything. So congratulations to Brad. Let's go, a round of applause. There we go. Round of applause for Brad. Thank you, sir. Colin, thank you for the runner-up. Go ahead and come back, or you already did the code. Hopefully you did. Remember, the first 2 people that built that code, go on the website. That code is active. That's going to save you 24% on whatever you want to buy, including if you want to pre-order a Sentinel. So again, thank you very much. Appreciate all the support. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff like Ella puts over here someplace. And we'll see you all in the next video. Take care.